so next up, we have process and resource efficiency. I can tell you, as a Vice President of Operations for an absorbent products manufacturer that served healthcare and food products, what do you think I was asked at every single board meeting? How is your waste? How is your process efficiency? So it's a really, really vital area. And this year, our award winner in this category is Ingram Micro. And so I'd like to welcome you to the stage.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Lisa and the MCIE for this award. Innovation is one of Ingram Micro's corporate values, so this is especially important for us to award this award today. So a little bit more about who we are. Ingram Micro is the world's largest reseller of technology in the world. So we help businesses realize the promise of technology. And the way we do that is three ways. One is through the buying and selling of technology products to resellers. But we also have cloud services that we provide, as well as we're able to provide supply chain services for end-to-end supply chain needs for our customers as well, for our commerce and lifecycle services business. So no one really ever hears about us, but up to 80% of the technology that you use every day may have flowed through an Ingram Micro site. So a very large presence out there for not being very well known. Here in the Inland Empire, we actually have a pretty large footprint. We have 700 associates across 3 cities and 4 different buildings at over 2 million square feet. So a lot of activity within our organization happening here in the Inland Empire. So how do we get here today? So 2 years ago, our global leadership team had a vision of becoming, promoting a culture of operational excellence within our organization. So it came to me to work with my team here locally to figure out how do we implement that. And we looked at it 2 ways. The first thing we did is we looked at having a dedicated person in our campus to really help us build the culture of lean from an operational process perspective. And thankfully, I had Ismael here join me with the team and help us do that. But the other thing we wanted to do as far as culture building is really look at it as an opportunity to use it for more than just cost savings. What we were really focused on was how can we help build associate satisfaction and engage them in the process as well as we build out this lean culture, this operational excellence culture that we were building in the organization. So what I'd like to do, since Ish did a lot of that work for me, is give him an opportunity to talk about what we did. So.
As we heard, Mike's expectations were definitely high, so we had to get creative and innovate, right? Our first task after we did our initial assessment, we identified a lot of opportunities, but we agreed and we decided to focus on 3 things: lean leadership training, lean projects, and lean well. The reason we wanted to do a lean leadership training was to provide the skills necessary, then also build a strong foundation for our lean journey. And the second thing was our projects, right? We wanted to make sure we actually are tracking our progress, and then also some of the tools we applied some of the tools we learned. And then last but not least, lean well. We want to make sure we got recognition and promotion for our continuous improvement efforts. So we were developing this 19-module training. We took into account supply chain logistic problems, and then also the main purpose of this training was not just to focus and train concepts, but also train the mindsets. We wanted to make sure our leadership team left that room with just identifying areas of how can we improve visibility, reduce variability, and increase velocity.
So ultimately, how did we do? It's a lot of work to implement a culture of lean within an organization that didn't have it previously. So right away, we saw increased engagement, both from our leadership team as well as our associates. We gave everyone the opportunity to have an impact and improve their own work lives, which really made a difference to everyone as far as to how they felt and what they were doing each day as they were coming in to do their jobs. And it had a real material impact as well when it comes to savings. So we were able to complete 33 projects in our very first year of having a lean program, with savings of over $1 million to the bottom line for our organization. So just in the first year alone, just by being able to have a focus on lean and being able to involve our associates, saw $1 million savings for our team. So we're really excited about that. Our single largest project, we were able to put asset lockers in place that allowed associates to have control over the supplies they needed for their tasks each day. That alone had a $227,000 impact. And we did efficiency projects in some of our other buildings and yielded $585,000 in savings just from working with our teams to figure out what's the best way to do things. So listening and involving our teams really had a material impact. The lean wall was also a big one. Ish just talked about this a moment ago. It was really important to our overall effort because what it does is it showcases our results. It allows everyone to have an understanding of what we're actually accomplishing, and they can see it any time at their leisure. But it also gives them the sense and pride of accomplishment. All the team members that are involved in making all this great change are listed on that wall for the project which they worked with. So it gives them an opportunity to be able to stand there and show their peers what they've done to help everybody out in their processes on a daily basis. And lastly, it helps stimulate ideas for future improvement too. Perhaps we did step A, but somebody else has an idea for step B and step C. So being able to look at the wall to see what we've worked on allows associates to have opportunities to come up with other ideas as well. So what's the plan? This was just our very first year in this journey. So we're really looking to continue on. We're looking to sustain the momentum. So we did a lot of work and a lot of training last year with our leadership team. This year we're focusing on training our associates and making sure that they're able to be conversant in the language of lean and being able to help build that culture within the associate base. And a focus on continuing to improve our processes and engage our associates. We're going to build kiosks within the sites that allow them to submit ideas around continuous improvement. We're going to have associate-driven Kaizen events as opposed to being driven by the management team. And we're really going to look at having, throughout our 4-building campus here in Southern California, a lot more opportunities for best practice sharing. And the last thing I want to call out is just acknowledgments. A project and a process and a journey like this takes a lot of people. So a lot of folks were involved. Our associates were fantastic in working through learning how to do this. Our leadership team was really committed. Cindy and Bert, who are the other members of our operational excellence team, are here today. Were key in helping us move this forward. And finally, just having the executive level of oversight and vision to allow me to move forward with bringing on someone full-time to help us with this was fantastic as well. So, Ish, thank you, and thank you to the team. Thank you, everybody else.